Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to come on today to do a live stream. So we'll see uh, when people show up. If anyone has any questions, I can answer your questions. But today I wanted to come on and do a reading on anyone who's on your mind. Anyone, it doesn't even have to be romantic, it could be like a friend. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to find out the type of person they are so you can understand them better. So this can help you with your relationship, with your communication, and also just get to know them better and see if there's anything that they might be hiding, if there's anything that you can learn about them that you haven't noticed before, if there's any patterns about them that can help you understand them better. All right, so welcome back, by the way, to my page. Thank you for subscribing if you are, and let's get into it. So I'm gonna shuffle my cards. I already shuffled, but I'm just gonna shuffle them again. And just concentrate on your person. Once again, it does not have to be romantic. This could be a friend. This could be just someone that you are just getting to know. And you're just like wondering, who are they really? What are they hiding back? Or holding back, I should say. Okay, so already a person's coming, someone who's very straightforward, and they do come off as someone who's very blunt. But, a lot of times from my own experience and just in general, when a person is being forceful, this can also mean that they're trying to prove something. When confidence is great, but sometimes when someone who is overconfident, that can also point to some insecurities underneath, right? So this could be someone who's coming on strong, powerful, confident, which is all great qualities, but we're gonna look underneath. We're gonna see. All right, so this person loves to gossip. They definitely are talking about you. They love to talk about you. They love discussing you. Um, they're definitely trying to be friendly with you because they like to learn more about you. For some, they might be even kind of like copying your style. So picking up on some of your mannerism, picking up on the way you talk and, some of the dressing that you are doing, right? So copying you, really copying your style. Which is, once again, it's a contradiction, right? This is someone who's very confident and public, but yet they get inspired by you. And you're someone who's more laid back, you kind of keep to yourself. You're not, someone who's going to just talk about it. You're going to prove it to people. You live your life confidently. You don't have to overcompensate for no one. You don't have to prove yourself to no one. But this person at the same time, they're very loud. They feel like they have something to prove. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. Okay. And a lot of people around this person are taking their side and they're like, no, 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 no. You're fine the way you are. You don't need to dumb yourself down for anyone. You don't need to be calm about it, be loud, be extra. So they're kind of on this bandwagon about this person that they're they're perfect the way they are. So no one is really telling this person the truth. I definitely see you more as someone who will tell this person about themselves and you will let them know that, hey, sometimes you do too much. You do too much. And they don't like that. They don't like when you confront them. They don't like when you speak the truth. They play a victim a lot of times. But also, what I want to point out and draw your attention to is that you can actually learn some things about from this person. There are some great qualities about this person that you can kind of obtain yourself, right? Like that playfulness, that not really caring about what anyone thinks. And not to say that you care what other people think, but you can be more reckless with it. You could be more reckless with your behavior and just being playful. But you will be able to achieve the balance that the other person doesn't have because you already have that depth and you're more profound, you're more deep, you're more understanding, you have more empathy. And once you pick up on more of that playfulness of life and not caring so much about the consequences of your actions, just like the other person doesn't care, I think it'll be a great balance in your life. And that's what I want to see you work on. Okay. So, there's a lesson in everything, in every relationship. And this is that lesson for you that, yeah, this person can be too much. This person can seem like a lot, annoying, a headache. But at the same time, you can learn from that. You can get something out of it. Okay, without overcompensating like they are. Because you already picked that up about them. You know that they overcompensate. You're going to be just doing things for fun because you know how to have fun. You know how to have innocent fun. And you're not doing out of a place of insecurity. All right. So let's see what else we need to know about this person. Well, one thing for sure is that um, they're not to be trusted. Okay. You cannot really trust this person fully. They may pretend like they're friendly, they may pretend like they will be a friend, but I don't know if you could trust them yet because they're still not trusting you fully. So when they haven't taken the time to really see that you are a truthful person and that you can trust them or they can trust you, they're still having some trust issues. So this person has trust issues, right? So it's not like you've done anything particular in order for them not to be able to trust you. It's just how they are, right? This person has some betrayal in the past, some infidelity. It could be betrayal in friendships, infidelity in romantic relationships. They have been hurt, they have been burned by someone. So they will not trust you fully. And, there's nothing you could really do about that, right? You could just keep showing up as yourself, as your authentic self. Um, and if you do want to develop into a deeper friendship, you can do that as well. But I would just take your time with it and don't be afraid to confront this person and say, so you don't really trust me? Are we not trusting each other? Is this not an equal friendship, equal partnership, equal romantic relationship? Um, come from a curious place. Why is there a lack of trust? And whenever there's an issue between the two of you, what happens is this person goes to someone else to discuss you. Instead of coming to you to work on an issue, they go to someone else. And, that's why I mentioned earlier, there's a bit of that gossip. They talk behind your back. I wouldn't say it's anything too bad. It's just when they get frustrated with you, instead of talking to you about it, they go to someone else, right? So it's almost like they sweep things under the rug. They sweep it under the rug, and the issues do not get solved. And that's definitely a problem, right? And then it will pile up, and next thing you know, it could blow up into a big argument. So we want to avoid that. So for now, in the beginning, you might have to do the work for them. Only if you want to, only if you have the desire, the energy to do so. You might have to just let them know, hey, I've noticed sometimes you get distance, or there's some trust issues, or I overheard you speaking to someone else about our issue, and I don't want that to happen anymore. I want to be able to have that one-on-one with each other. So let's work on that. So don't be afraid, because once you start speaking up for yourself, they're not going to be so blind. They're not going to have so many blind spots when it comes down to relationships. This person is going to be able to learn from you, and they're going to respect the fact that you are confronting them. You're not running away from the issues, that you're not afraid to stand up for yourself, that you actually do care and you trust them, and you want to be able to work out on this relationship. So, you know, the respect has to be earned with this person. You cannot just ask for it. You will have to work for it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's another thing that you can learn from this person, because you usually trust people pretty easily, and you have a lot of empathy and etc. But with this person, they're more strict, but it could almost seem like coldness, right? They seem cold. And not a lot of people understand that about them, but you do. You know where that coldness is coming from. It's coming from insecurity. Once again, a lot of things come from insecurities. So when you approach this person with warmth, but also authority, right? You're being respectful about it, they will respect you more. And to them, respect is love. That's how they show love. Once they respect you, that's when they will love you more, understand you more. They will put in more time with you, and it'll be a more balanced relationship than it is right now. Because right now, it's kind of like you feel like you're alone in this, and there's a lot of misunderstandings, um, a lot of arguments, fights, and just going back and forth, right? You feel like you might not be on the same page with this person. So we want to be able to change that. Okay. By the way, if anyone has any questions at any point, please drop them in the chat. I will do some Q&A a little bit in about 5 to 7 minutes. But feel free to ask while we are doing this reading. Okay, so what is the possibility of this, the future of this relationship? And once again, this does not have to be romantic, it could be friendship. Um, but this is more of a short term friendship or short term relationship for now. So I don't see anything that will be long term for now. This is just kind of like in a moment. You're getting to know each other, you're learning things about each other, you're learning from each other, you're learning something about yourself, you're learning something about relationships, and etc. So this is more of a beneficial short-term relationship or friendship connection with this person. I do see you walking away at some point, because what's going to happen is this person will start compensating for everything they have done in the past, either to you or someone else, and they're gonna kind of like overdo it. It's gonna be more performance based versus being genuine. So they will kind of go out of their way to prove something to you. And it's not like they really mean to love bomb you, or they don't mean to kind of take over this connection and fake it. It's because they're learning to become someone they've never been, someone who's more open, someone who's more warm and welcoming. And it just happened to be with you because you were able to bring that out of them. So I just want you to realize that it's a beautiful thing, but you also want to be just kind of aware that this performance that they will do is not going to be long term. It's going to be a short term. And I don't want you to get your hopes up and, think that they will be able to keep up with this. Okay, so it'll be a nice little short term relationship or friendship. Okay. But lessons will be learned in this connection. Um, you'll be able to understand your feelings better because this is one of the few people that can get to your emotions. You know how you just meet a person and for some reason or another, it's like no matter what they do, no matter what they say, it gets to you. And you're usually a pretty calm and steady person, but like around them, you just get to be more sensitive. You feel your feelings much deeper around this person. The effect that this person has on you is much more impactful. And you want to take this opportunity because this person has that effect on you to be able to process it and feel it. Because this is a good way to get to know you, like what really gets to you. Just observe yourself, how you respond to them, what makes you react, what triggers you. So, this is a good way to just learn about all of those feelings and emotions that are underneath it all, right? That subconsciously you have, that you haven't had a chance to discover them. And try not to judge yourself because it will be pretty ugly sometimes. It will be bad. You might feel a lot of anger, a lot of resentment. You might feel like you have done everything for this person and you have not received anything back. So the lesson in that is that, am I overgiving myself to people? Am I overextending myself to people? Maybe I need to pull back. Where is my balance in being able to show up for someone, but also keeping that boundary and focusing on myself? You never want to sway either way. You kind of want to stay in the middle. Okay, so finding that middle ground and this connection will be a lesson for you. This will help you. The lessons that you will learn in this relationship, this will help you in your future relationships. Okay. Because would you have the warmth, the empathy, the understanding the other person doesn't have, and what the other person does has, which is more boundaries, coldness, playfulness, kind of like keeping people at a distance, not because they hate someone, because they focus more on themselves. So now you can start focusing more on yourself without losing that connection with this person. You want to be able to pull back your energy a little bit. You don't want to overextend, you don't want to overgive. It never works out. Whenever you start building your life around someone else and around someone else's approval, the connection will never go anywhere because in order for the connection to grow, there has to be two energies present, as you know this. Um, and if the person is not going to be able to like keep giving you their energy. You have to be able to give it to yourself. You have to be able to live your life. You have to be able to get your hobbies, right? Your own friend circle and etc. I talk about this all the time. It's all about balance in relationships, and it's all about learning your triggers. So this is going to be a great lesson for you to be able to learn your triggers, okay? All right, so I'm going to start wrapping up the reading. Does anyone have any questions? This could be your own personal question about your own situation, okay? So let me know in the comments, and I will be able to answer. All right, guys, so I am taking questions right now if anyone is interested. Okay. And let me know, whoever has watched this reading, let me know if it has resonated. Let me know what part you have learned about yourself and what part you have learned about the person that's on your mind. Okay. What stood out to you that I said? What have you learned? What have we learned today about relationships, connections, and etc.? All right, so I'm waiting for questions. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. Let me know, drop your questions. I still have time. Okay. Any questions, guys, before I go? That's why I wrapped up my reading a little bit earlier, so we still had time for a few questions. But I'm guessing not. There we are. Hey, Jazz, how are you? How's it going? Am I going to be able to get a government job this year or a good paying job? What's up, Jazz? Have you been to my lives before, or is this your first time? Because your name looks familiar, but I don't want to jump the gun and say that I've seen you before. Okay, first time number. Super. All right, so Jazz, we're looking for, are you going to be able to find a government job? You know, so I'm gonna look into your career. We're gonna see what's happening for you professionally. Okay, so we're gonna look into your professional life. All right, and I'm gonna see what might happen, what you might need to work on in order to achieve your goals. Okay, it's clear you have goals. You want to be able to uh, have more money, you know, be more profitable. So let's see what's really stopping you from achieving your goals. Okay. Okay, so I mean, right away, King of Pentacles. So you will be able to definitely get a good paying job. Okay. I think for you, what needs to happen, because you really are passionate about certain things, you want things to kind of end up the way that you want it to be. Like if you have, if you're passionate about a certain type of topic, right? If you want a certain type of government, oh, no worries. Like say for example, you want a government job, right? Highly desirable jobs. We know that. Everybody, you're looking for security, right? You're looking for security. You have been dedicating your life to some of your passions, and I think you are at a point that you are exhausted, because it might not be working out the way you might want to, um, or you feel like you just want to get that stable, secure job at a government with government that gonna give you steady income. Fair enough. And I do think that will happen for you. Okay, it always works out in the end. As long as you stay in positive about it, you're being proactive, you're using. I want you to see you use your networking skills. You have great networking skills. I want you to use the people that you know around you and ask around and kind of say, hey, put a good word in for me, right? Be more open about telling people that you are looking for something, okay? And also, like, sometimes jobs come from the most unexpected places, all right? And I would even settle for, you could do like a part-time, that it could be at a government that could potentially grow into a full-time, right? Now, as far as like government jobs, they could be higher paying ones, but a lot of them are still has a budget. If you want a higher paying job, I would definitely encourage you to just keep going with your talents and your passion. Don't stop, because a lot of times that's where the money is at as well. Okay. So you kind of like, I feel like you're on edge. Do I go for my passions, or do I go for a government job, a stable job? But you could have both. You could still have a career, a professional career, and you can go after your passion and your hobbies that could bring you money. Okay? Money is definitely in your cards. All right. Does anyone else has any questions? Let me know. Let me know if there's any more questions before we move on. You're welcome. Best of luck. Best of luck. Okay. I'm going to give it like another 10 seconds. And if not, once again, thank you for watching, everyone. And let me know if the reading that I did earlier has resonated. It was a general reading about like a person in your life, whoever's on your mind. It doesn't have to be romantic. So I reveal some things about this person, okay? And I reveal some things about you. So if you missed it, feel free to rewatch it, okay? I don't always do free readings. If it's more in depth reading, I can definitely uh, do like a private reading, right? Like a one-on-one reading. If it's more in depth, I usually do my in-depth readings on TikTok as well. So make sure you follow me on there. I'm gonna go live on TikTok after this. And sometimes it really depends, if it's I haven't been on YouTube in some time. So if it's just a quick reading, I will do that. When it's more in depth, requires more elaborate answers, it could take me like 20 minutes. And if people have follow-up questions, like if you have like follow-up questions like, oh, so what career you think I should go for then? And and why do you say that? That's more of a paid reading, situation. I don't know why I said uh, so that's when, you know, we could do it one-on-one, or I do it on TikTok. Okay, because YouTube doesn't really, it's YouTube live streams. I just do like general readings most of the time, and then I do like a few quick free readings. But make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. I also post videos on there and I go live on there. And then you can ask a specific question and any follow-up questions with the paid reading, okay? But yeah, so today was a quick and a great stream. It was a great reading about the person that's on your mind. If you haven't seen it, watch back. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if it resonated. All right. And I don't think anyone has any more questions. Okay. All right. So no more questions. So I am going to hop off and I will be on TikTok. Okay. So I will see you on TikTok. And until next time, bye.